They never told you the truth, not in school, not at your job, not even in the books they handed you. The truth is, you've been walking through life with blinders on, trained to follow a system that was never designed to make you rich, a system built to keep you functioning, not thriving, to keep you obedient, not independent. And as the years go by, you start wondering why your hard work isn't paying off, why success feels like a distant dream, why no matter how many hours you put in, you're still stuck, still struggling, still broke. This isn't by accident. This is by design. From the moment you could understand words, you were taught what to think, not how to think. You were handed a path: go to school, get a job, work hard, retire, and told this is the way. But no one told you that the people who built that path never walked it themselves. They created the system and then stepped outside of it. The people at the top, the ones with the power, the money, the freedom, they operate with a completely different set of rules. They understand a truth that most will never hear, that wealth is not about luck, inheritance, or privilege. It's about understanding the laws of the mind and using them with relentless intention. They hid this from you because if you knew how powerful your thoughts were, if you truly understood what your mind could manifest, you'd no longer need their system. You'd stop being a worker. You'd become a creator. And that terrifies them. You've been conditioned to believe that life is happening to you, that you're a victim of your circumstances, that the economy, your background, your job, or your education are the reasons you're not successful. But the truth they never wanted you to know is that none of that matters as much as the way you think. What you hold in your mind shapes what you experience in your reality. The people who rise above, the ones who break through the limits, every one of them learned to master their thoughts before they mastered the world. But look around. How often do they teach you to think that way? When was the last time someone told you that your thoughts carry more weight than your labor, that your belief is more valuable than your resume? Never, because if they taught you that, the system would collapse. They need you working, not imagining. They need you doubting, not believing. They need you to stay small, because the moment you decide to dream big and back it with unshakable belief, you become unstoppable. This is the secret they hid, that success begins in the invisible, that wealth is first created in your mind, long before it shows up in your bank account, that you don't get rich by chasing money. You get rich by aligning your thoughts, your energy, your focus with a definite purpose. And when that alignment is strong, nothing can stop it. But no one handed you that blueprint. They gave you distractions. They fed you fear. They sold you comfort. And now you wonder why you're stuck. You wonder why the breakthrough never comes. It's because you've been climbing the wrong ladder, chasing goals that aren't yours, living by rules you never questioned. It's time to open your eyes, to step back and see the bigger game that's being played. Because once you understand how deep the programming runs, you'll start to see how much of your struggle was never really yours. It was borrowed, given, taught. You were never broken. You were just misled. And now you have a choice. You can continue following the script they wrote for you, or you can burn the script and write your own. One that starts not with fear, but with vision. One that doesn't wait for permission, but creates its own future. The truth is no longer hidden. You've heard it now. And once you know it, you can't unhear it. The only question left is, what will you do with it? They told you that if you work hard, everything will work out. That if you put in the hours, stay loyal, keep your head down, and do what you're told, success will find you. They glorified the grind, praised the hustle, and convinced you that struggle was a badge of honor. But here you are, still struggling, still waiting, still stuck. And deep down, you're starting to realize something is wrong. Because if hard work alone created wealth, every laborer would be rich. Every person working 2 jobs, sacrificing sleep, grinding day and night, they'd be living in abundance, but they're not. Because the formula you were given is incomplete. You see, Hard work is only part of the equation. Yes, effort matters. Yes, discipline matters. But effort without direction is wasted energy. Movement without vision leads nowhere. And that's the trap most people fall into, working themselves into the ground without ever questioning where that work is really taking them. They've been trained to believe that struggle equals success, but in truth, most people are just exhausting themselves inside a cage. And the cruelest part? They don't even know the cage exists. Wealth doesn't respond to effort alone. It responds to intelligence, to alignment, to vision. It responds to those who know what they want and move toward it with precision. The rich don't just work. They think, they strategize, they create, they move with intention. And that's the difference no one told you about. While the world tells you to work harder, the wealthy focus on thinking better. While you're trading time for money, they're building systems that work for them. They're not prisoners of labor. They're masters of leverage. So the next time someone tells you to work harder, ask yourself this: are you working toward your purpose, or are you just following someone else's plan? Are you building your dream, or are you making someone else's dream possible? Because if you're stuck in the cycle of effort without elevation, you'll stay exactly where you are, tired, frustrated, and broke. It's not that you're lazy, it's that you've been misled. And the moment you start thinking with clarity and purpose, everything begins to change. Everything you experience in life begins with thought. Before the money, before the opportunity, before the success, there is the idea. And behind every idea is belief. You were never taught this because the power of thought is the greatest weapon you've never been allowed to master. The truth is, your mind is the engine behind every outcome in your life. Your beliefs shape your behaviors shape your results, and your results shape your reality. Change doesn't begin outside, it begins within. The problem is most people live on autopilot. They don't control their thoughts control them. They accept limitations not because they're true, but because they've been repeated. They've heard phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, you have to be lucky to get ahead, or people like us don't make it. So many times, they've accepted them as fact. But these are not truths. These are inherited beliefs, passed down by people who gave up on their dreams long ago. And if you don't learn to question them, you'll carry those same chains for the rest of your life. Wealth does not begin with a paycheck, it begins with a mindset. Until you believe that you deserve more, that you are capable of more, and that you are destined for more, you will keep settling for less. Belief is not just some motivational fluff. It is the foundation of action. When you believe deeply in a goal, your behavior shifts. Your standards rise, your focus sharpens, you stop wasting time and you start making moves. That shift is everything. But belief cannot be borrowed. It must be built. You build it by feeding your mind with truth, not fear. You build it by surrounding yourself with ideas, voices, and energy that elevate your vision, not shrink it. And most importantly, you build it by refusing to entertain thoughts that don't serve your future. Every time you say, I can't, you're feeding the poverty of your mind. Every time you say, I will, you're building the foundation of wealth. If you want to change your life, you must first change your thoughts, because nothing changes until your mind does. And once it does, everything else follows. You can't achieve what you don't truly want. Not hope for, not vaguely wish for, but deeply, obsessively desire. That's the first step they never told you about, the kind of desire that consumes your thoughts, that fuels your actions, that makes failure impossible because you refuse to quit. That kind of desire is rare, and that's why wealth is rare. Most people live with soft wants. They say they want more, but their actions betray them. They say they want to be rich, but they never commit. They never go all in. And without deep desire, nothing powerful can be built. Desire is the fire that makes the impossible burn into reality. It's not enough to say you want success. You have to hunger for it. You have to want it more than you want comfort, more than you want approval, more than you want sleep. Because the truth is, the world will test you. It will push against your dreams. It will throw distraction, rejection, and failure in your face. And if your desire isn't stronger than your excuses, you'll walk away. That's why so few reach the top, not because they weren't capable, but because they didn't want it enough to keep going. And let's be clear, desire is not about greed. It's about intention. It's about knowing what you want and refusing to settle for anything less. Wealth doesn't respond to passiveness, it responds to clarity. The clearer your desire, the stronger your direction. You begin to move differently. You start filtering your decisions through a new lens. Does this bring me closer to what I want, or is it pulling me away? The people who achieve massive success aren't lucky. They're focused. They know exactly what they want, and they chase it with everything they have. That kind of desire can't be taught in a classroom. It comes from within. It comes from deciding that your life will not be average, that your future will not be a repeat of your past, that you are done waiting, done doubting, done living small. If you don't have a burning desire, you won't have the strength to endure the pressure success demands. But if that desire lives inside you, unshakable, untouchable, then nothing in this world can stop you. Most people are drifting. They're moving, but they're not going anywhere. They wake up, go to work, handle their responsibilities, but there's no direction behind it. No focus, no purpose, just motion. That's why they stay stuck. Because life doesn't reward motion, it rewards meaning. It rewards clarity. It rewards those who move with intention. And that's the secret nobody emphasized enough. You must have a definite purpose if you want to change your life. Not a vague dream, not a hopeful goal. A purpose so clear it shapes everything you do. Without a clear purpose, every distraction looks like an opportunity. You become reactive instead of proactive. You chase trends, jump from one thing to the next, and wonder why nothing is working. It's not that you lack talent. It's not that you're lazy. It's that your energy is scattered. And scattered energy produces scattered results. But when you define exactly what you want, when you lock onto a purpose with precision, your life begins to align. Your decisions become easier. Your habits become stronger. Your time becomes sacred. You stop chasing everything and you start attracting what's aligned with your vision. Purpose gives your struggle meaning. Without it, every obstacle feels like a reason to quit. But when you know your why, you endure. You push through. You rise up. Purpose creates resilience. It gives you the ability to suffer without breaking, to fall without giving up, to fail without losing belief. Because when your destination is clear, the detours can't distract you. But most people never take the time to define it. They wait for life to give them a purpose instead of creating one. They hope their purpose will just show up one day. But purpose isn't found, it's decided, it's claimed, it's chosen with conviction. And once you make that decision, you'll see the world differently. You'll stop wandering and start building. You'll stop waiting and start acting. Life bends for those who know what they want. The question is, do you? If you don't define your purpose, the world will assign one to you, and it will always be smaller than what you were meant for. There is a force inside you more powerful than any external resource you've ever been taught to rely on. It's not money. It's not talent. It's not education. It's faith. But not the kind of faith most people associate with rituals or religion. This is something deeper. It's the unwavering belief in your ability to rise, to build, to overcome, no matter the odds. It's the voice inside that says, I will, even when the world is screaming, you can't. And yet, no one ever taught you how to use it. Because once you activate this force, you become unstoppable. And they never wanted you to realize that. Faith is the foundation of every great achievement. Before the first step is taken, before the first result appears, before anyone else believes in your vision, you must believe. And that belief must be firm, not fragile, not conditional, not something you hold only when things are going well. True faith is forged in silence, in struggle, in solitude. It's built when no one claps for you, when no one sees your progress, when everything in your reality says quit, but something in your spirit says keep going. You've been told to rely on logic, to play it safe, to follow what's proven, but faith doesn't operate within the boundaries of what's already been done. It expands them. It says, even if it's never been done by someone like me, I will be the first. And when you carry that kind of belief, your energy shifts. Your presence changes. People feel it. Opportunities respond to it. Because the universe bends for those who refuse to doubt themselves. But faith is not passive. It's not just hope. It demands action. You must move as if the outcome is already certain. You must think, speak, and act from the place you intend to reach, not from where you are now. That's how faith grows, through movement, through repetition, through courage. Every time you act in alignment with your highest vision, you feed that force. And every time you retreat in fear, you weaken it. If you want to escape the life you've been given and step into the life you were meant for, you need more than skill. You need faith. Because in the end, your belief will carry you farther than any plan ever could. The greatest enemy you will ever face is not outside of you, it's within. It's not the economy, it's not your boss, it's not your past, your family, or your circumstances. It's the quiet voice inside your head that whispers, "What if you fail?" It's the invisible wall built by years of fear and doubt. And if you don't confront it, if you don't tear it down, it will own you. It will control your choices, shrink your vision, and keep you locked in a life far beneath your potential. Fear is not always loud. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it comes dressed as logic. It convinces you to play it safe, to wait, to prepare more, to get more experience, to take one more course before you begin. But behind all that reasoning is the same truth. You're afraid to lose, afraid to be judged, afraid to outgrow the identity you've clung to for so long, and so you stay where it's comfortable, even if that comfort is killing your dreams. Doubt is the twin of fear, and it works in silence. It makes you second-guess every idea, every move, every win. It tells you that you're not ready, that you're not good enough, that you're too late, too young, too old, too average. And the worst part, you start to believe it. You start to live by it. You begin to shrink your goals to match your insecurity. You start calling it realistic. But it's not realism, it's surrender. You were not born with fear, it was given to you. You were not born with doubt, it was taught to you. And if it was learned, it can be unlearned. You have to confront those voices, not by arguing with them, but by taking action in spite of them. Every step forward weakens their grip. Every bold move silences their power. Fear only wins when you stand still. But when you move, even trembling, even uncertain, you strip it of control. You are not your fear. You are not your doubt. You are the force that moves forward anyway. And the day you stop letting those lies speak louder than your purpose is the day everything begins to shift. Your mind believes what it hears the most. That's the code. That's the key to reprogramming your entire reality. It doesn't matter how smart you are or how talented you may be. If you keep feeding your mind with thoughts of lack, fear, and limitation, your life will follow that pattern. This is the part they never taught you in school. You were taught to memorize facts, to repeat what others said, but not how to command your own inner dialogue. And because of that, most people walk around hypnotized by their own negative thinking, completely unaware that they are creating their future with every word they speak. Autosuggestion is the process of deliberately choosing your thoughts, repeating them, and planting them deep into your subconscious until they become part of who you are. It is not magic, it is mental conditioning. Just like your body changes with repetition in the gym, your mind changes with repetition of thought. When you tell yourself every single day that you are focused, powerful, and destined for success, your brain starts to accept it. And once your brain accepts it, your actions align. And when your actions align, your life transforms. But most people do the opposite. They wake up and affirm their problems. They talk about what they lack, what they fear, what they can't do. And they don't realize that their words are forming chains around their potential. If you keep telling yourself, I'm broke, I never get lucky, I don't know how, then don't be surprised when your life mirrors those beliefs. The mind doesn't question repetition, it obeys it. You must take control of the story playing in your head. You must declare what you want with intensity and emotion every single day. Write it, speak it, see it, feel it. That's how you rewire the code. Not once, not casually, but relentlessly, until your mind no longer resists success, until it expects it. The world responds to the energy you carry. If you train your mind to think from a place of power, the results will follow. Because when your inner world changes, your outer world has no choice but to reflect it. Most people think wealth is about money, but money is just the result. The cause is mindset. The source is internal. That's why two people can be handed the same opportunity, the same resources, even the same amount of time, and one will turn it into millions while the other loses it all. It's not about luck. It's not about the system. It's about how they think, because wealth is a mind game. And until you learn how to play it, you'll keep losing, even if you're working hard, even if you're doing all the right things. The rich don't think like the poor, not because they're better, but because they've trained themselves to see the world through a different lens. Where others see risk, they see potential. Where others see obstacles, they see leverage. Where others stop, they begin. They understand that money flows toward value, toward vision, toward boldness. But if your mind is wired for scarcity, you'll reject all of that. You'll sabotage yourself. You'll play small. You'll hesitate when it's time to leap. Because deep down, you're still seeing life through the lens of survival, not abundance. You have to realize that the game changed a long time ago. In today's world, your income is no longer tied to your time. It's tied to your thinking, your creativity, your belief, your execution. People are building empires from laptops, turning ideas into impact, multiplying income from knowledge alone. But if you're stuck in the mindset of trading hours for dollars, you'll never tap into that power. You'll keep chasing scraps, hoping for a raise, waiting for permission, when you were meant to be building wealth from the inside out. You don't fix a money problem with more money. You fix it with a better mindset. Because until your mind is aligned with wealth, money will always escape you. But once you start thinking like someone who deserves it, who multiplies it, respects it, and commands it, the money will come. Not because you're chasing it, but because you finally become the kind of person it flows to. The harshest truth is this: no one is coming to save you. No one owes you success, wealth, or freedom. You can wait for help, for luck, for a miracle, but those things rarely come on their own. The moment you realize this, something shifts, because taking full responsibility for your life is the only way to break free from the cycle of struggle. You must stop blaming circumstances, stop waiting for the perfect moment, and stop expecting others to hand you what you deserve. This is your life, your journey, your battle, and it's up to you to win it. No one will care about your dreams as much as you do. No one will fight harder for your vision than you. And no one will create the life you want unless you take the reins with determination and courage. The world doesn't reward victims. It rewards warriors, those who refuse to accept less, those who keep pushing when every part of them wants to quit, those who understand that waiting is losing, that time is precious, and that excuses are the enemy of progress. Taking control means making tough decisions. It means saying no to distractions, to toxic relationships, to habits that hold you back. It means being honest with yourself about where you are and where you want to go. It means building discipline, even when motivation fades. It means showing up every day ready to fight for your future. Because success is not a gift, it's a commitment. And without commitment, No amount of knowledge, skill, or talent will make a difference. This moment, right now, is your turning point. You can continue to be stuck, waiting for someone else to change your life, or you can stand up, take full responsibility, and start building your future with your own hands. The power is in your hands. The choice is yours. No one else can do it for you, and once you accept that truth, you will never be broke again. Not because money suddenly appears, but because you become the master of your destiny. Learn from history's top warriors. Because they knew the scoreboard, so they decided what battles to fight, the winners and the losers, because they became the master of